Hello there everyone, trying to make sure I can see over the box here. My name is Chris, I am The Man Collects. Welcome back here for another edition of The Man Builds. First of all, thank you for taking your time to watch this video. If you do end up enjoying it, do me a favor and hit that like button and let YouTube know that. If you're not subscribed to The Man Collects, consider clicking subscribe. If you do, turn on your bell for notifications so you'll know when videos drop. If you go to the description of this video, you'll see a link to my Instagram. Be sure to go there, give me a follow, send me a message should you choose to. Now, I am done plugging my social media. Let's talk about what we are here to take a look at. We have another set from Pantasy here. This one is the Steampunk Airship, number 85021. Let me get it centered in the camera here so you can see the box. This is a whopping 1,949 pieces. If you wish to purchase one, there will be a link to Amazon in the description of this video where you can purchase one for $120 plus taxes and all that fun stuff. But you can see everything here on your box. You got some more images of the ship on the back. But that is all of your packaging and all the little details about it. Now let's get down to the fun stuff. It's time to crack this box open. It's time to put this sucker together. And let's see if we've got another solid entry from Pantasy or if it didn't hit the mark. Before we take a look at our Steampunk Airship, set number 85021, 1,949 pieces, let's take a look at the instruction book. Now, if you're not familiar with Pantasy or you haven't built a set from them before, I know my curiosity with new brick building companies is what do the instructions look like? Are they going to be easy to read? Are they going to be a pain in the butt or what else? So we'll flip through some of this. It's very standard. If you're used to other brick building company stuff, it's about the same. You know, you have stuff in here for their customer support in case you're missing site or pieces. You have their website on here. You have a thing to scan for their Instagram, their Facebook if you want to follow Pantasy on social media. As far as it goes, you can see here, guys, it flows about the same as other companies you're probably familiar with. It shows you here on bag number 1 what you're going to have in pass number 1, number 2, number 3, and how it progresses through the end of the set. And you start out here with bag 1. You can see it's very standard, very good, bright colored on the instructions. I think they're easy to read. I mean, I don't have any problems with these sets, the ones I've done so far. I think this is the third one I've built from Pantasy. And then my wife, who is a huge brick building fan, she has built one of the sets here from them, and she enjoyed them as well. But once again, as you see here, as you go through this, it shows you very well the pieces that you need, where they go, the instructions are good. So like I said, if you're on the fence for Pantasy products and you're worried about the instruction booklet, this is what you're faced with. It's basically the same stuff you're probably used to, so don't worry about that. They got good, clear instructions. Now, one thing we are going to look at before we get to the airship, it does come with some minifigures we got put together, so we're going to pause for a second. I'm going to get this book out of the way, and let's take a look at the minifigures. The first one we're going to take a look at, and I guess these are more styled like mini dolls. They call them character figures in the Pantasy instructions, but we got the figures here from them we're going to take a look at. This one is the Engineer. Now, this does not come with the set. This is mine. I just put together a bunch of plates. I want to stick the minifigure on that, so when I'm showing him close to the camera, you won't have to look at my big ugly fingers there, but we'll use that in a second. Now, one thing with their minifigures, I have seen all the sets that I have done. My personal preference, I like the actual minifigure style figures, these mini dolls with the bigger heads. Not my cup of tea, but again, that's not saying they're not nice, not detailed. That's just a personal preference for me. But on these, the legs are not articulated on these minifigures, so they do give you an alternate set of legs here. And also, if they got printed pieces on the actual minifigures, pants and stuff, you'll have it here as well on the little sit-down feet here. But as you can see, they do come with some different ones. You don't have any holes in the feet on this one to put it on studs where you will on the other one, but you do get a set of sit-down legs with each of these minifigures. Now, I'm not going to show every one for every one of these. They all look the same. They look just like the printed pants there on the other figures, just a seated one there. And you do have a hole there. You got a hole in the butt if you want to put on a stud in a seat or something like they are sitting down. But let's take a look at the Engineer. Let me get him on the thing. And there you go. I mean, look at the coloring on that, the brightness of the blues and all that. I like the way it contrasts. They put a lot of detail as well, printed pieces there on the chest pieces and the pants with the buckles and the straps and stuff on him. But you can see there the detail. And he looks like he's a little bit stern. He's the engineer. He's trying to make sure the ship's functioning right while the captain's flying it there when the airship's in the air. You can see there he's got some stuff on his arms as well, some arm printing. And then over to the back, you got some printing on the back of the figures. So, as you hear me say a lot when I review Pantasy stuff, they pack a lot of detail into their stuff. Their sets, their figures, all of that are always loaded with details. So I got to give them kudos for that. But we got 4 more figures to look at. This is the first one, the Engineer. Let's take a look now at the Explorer. And here is our Explorer. I apologize for the glares on him there, guys. The lights are kind of glaring on the chest piece and stuff. But my favorite feature on this one is the hat. I love the printed goggles there on the hat for the steampunk look of him there. But again, he's got his vest and his white sleeves. You can see, I like how you can see some of the white shirt behind the vest, like he's got his shirt tucked in. But again, look at the detailing. His printed pieces there on the chest and everything. Again, a lot of good details on this. I think the little figure looks great. I didn't show you on the Engineer, but, you know, again, I mentioned the legs are not articulated, but their arms are. You can move the arms up and down. Their heads, of course, will turn because they're on the studs there. If they have hair and they have hats and stuff like that, you can take them off, I think. Let me see. Yeah, they do pop off, but, again, you don't have a bald head. You just kind of got, like, the cut off top of the head there, so... With these figures, if you don't have something to go back on there, you know, it's going to look a little bit creepy if you don't have a head accessory to go on them. But yeah, there you go. Cool looking little figures. Now the hands there, you can see this one is turned a little bit. They're gripping hands. You can, like regular Lego figures. I mean, you can turn the hands as well. But the only articulation you have on these, you don't have on these, you normally have on other ones, is the legs don't move. They are fixed. But again, you get the little ones you can switch out with the seated ones there if you do want to have them sitting down somewhere on the set. But let's take a look at what is on the back of the Explorer. He's got a buckle there in the back of his vest and then some printed pieces there on the lower half. Again, very quality. These things they don't feel cheap when you get them in hand. They feel durable. So if you drop one, I don't think he's going to shatter and bust. But there you go with the Explorer. And next we're going to take a look at the Capitan. And now let's take a look at the pilot of our steampunk airship, the Captain. I gotta say, as far as all these figures that come with this set, this is my favorite one. Number one, I love the deep red colors. I think that looks great on him. I also like the contrast on the arms and the hands. You got the red jacket sleeve here with the black glove, then the gold steampunk arm over here with the gold hand. But take a look at this figure, guys. You got the glare on the glasses, I think looks cool. It adds a little, I guess, a better effect on that where it doesn't look like just a plain old paint job on those. And then look at all the buckles and stuff and snaps and the vest, the stripes on the vest, the white shirt behind, the tie kind of loosely done there around his neck. It's a lot of awesome details packed into that. And then when you turn into the side, you can see there the little gears and stuff on the steampunk arm. That looks great as well. He's got some chevrons, some rankings there on the side as well on his sleeves, so that's pretty nice. They do put some detailing on the back. Got his tails coming down off his coat there onto his butt and going down the back of his legs. And then his other arm is plain, but again, it's a jacketed arm. You wouldn't really expect anything on that. But again, a lot of good details on this one. One thing with these, I'm trying to show some of these features on the different figures that are showing on every one of them, but the feet, and they came off there, they do come out. So you can move the feet as well. If you want to turn them for whatever reason, they will twist and turn on that. And then again, these feet, the stand-up feet, all have holes in the bottom that do go on studs. I have tried the stud holes here on many different other brick building brands, and they are compatible. So the bricks here on the Pantasy sets are compatible with leading other brick building companies. I'm not going to start listing them all, but I've tried it with several, and they all fit. But that is our Captain, guys. Let's move on now and take a look at our 2 crew members. Let's take a look at our first female crew member here. And again, guys, you look on this, you see bright, vibrant colors just jump out at you there. To me, these kind of have an anime look to them. So if you're a fan of anime, these might appeal more to you, you know, with the steampunk and the anime stuff there. But again, look at all the intricate details on the outfit. The bows there, all the laces and frills. You can see it. She has a necklace on, you know, coming around the neck there. All that printed on there, and that looks great all the way down to the bottom of her skirt. But and again, you got arm printings on the side. There's like some little doily, lacy things there on the sides of her sleeves. And then on the back, let's see if I can spin this around. You can see there, even though the hair covers it, you've got printed pieces there on the back as well. So that's something that I like from about any toy company or anything like that. When you have something on a figure or a toy that's going to be primarily covered all the time, they don't leave it blank. They don't cut corners. You know, you still got printing back there. So if you do pose this, like with the head turned or something, you're not just seeing a plain background there where you got that detail on the front. They also put on the back of the figure. Now let's take a look at the final minifigure that comes with these things, the other crew member. All right, our 5th and final minifigure that comes with this set, you do have the steampunk crew member here, the male version. And this one's got a lot of he's definitely steampunk. He got all kinds of stuff on him that kind of fits that genre with the cool looking monocle eyepiece there, the eye patch, with the detailing on that. But look at that, the printed pieces on it going over to the side. I mean, it looks good. There's no breaks in the lines. I mean, really good paint job on that thing. I can also kind of get a weird Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday vibe from him with that mustache and little Fu Manchu he's got going on. But check out his chest there, the printed pieces on that. It almost looks like a clock or something there on his chest, but all the buckles, and even got holes there in the belts where the buckle's poking through. I mean, that's awesome level of detail for a brick-built set minifigure, guys. Look at all the stuff crammed into that. He's got a little tool pouch there on his pants. You can see a screwdriver, a wrench, some other stuff poking up through that. If you turn to his sleeves, you can see there he's got the steampunk stuff going on in the sleeves as well with some printed pieces. And it continues on to the back of the figure there as well. Got a big gear there on the back of his vest. It's like a backpack or something he's got on back there. You turn around here to the other arm, and then you got some more steampunk printing on that one. So I gotta say, guys, the minifigures, the only thing I'm not really a fan of these, I like the smaller usual stud heads you get with regular minifigures versus these bigger ones. That's the only thing that kind of gets me about them. But as far as the quality and detail, it is packed on these things. So if the figures look this good, you know that airship is going to be loaded with all kinds of goodness. So let's get it up here and let's take a look at our Steampunk Airship. Alright folks, here we go. Actually, I'm debuting a new feature here on the Man Collects, or the Man Builds, whatever I call this video. But I got my little spinny table here. I have put together a little hodgepodge of products from Lowe's. We got something here to make us hopefully a little bit easier when we do these reviews on some of our products and toys and brick building sets and all that good stuff. So we'll take a look at this here in a second. First of all, this Pantasy set. This is set number 85021, the Steampunk Airship. And yes, I have notes on this screen right up here is why I keep looking up to the corner. This thing is 1,949 pieces. Awesome display piece. I mean, you can look here and see what you can tell about it here. We'll just do a little broad spin here as I'm talking about it. I mean, the features and details on this, I have to say, from the sets I have seen and built from Pantasy so far, they don't waste any space. I mean, everywhere on this there can be detail. In my opinion, there is detail. The builds are fun. I went through a few things there talking about the instructions. I don't want to sound super negative. That's not how I mean to come off. But even look back in there. I mean, just look at the detailing there back on the fan and all that stuff. I mean, places, little nooks and crannies where you think they would just kind of leave it kind of bland. They try to put stuff in there to dress things up. So I do applaud that. Cost effective. They're not that bad cost wise. I'll have the price of this thing retail flashing on the screen for you of what it currently is on Amazon, so you will know that. But let's take a look at some of the features on here and some of the things. Well, I'm going to start, I don't want to say with negatives, but I'm going to start with one thing for me that was a little frustrating during the build process. And we're going to start first with here with the nose. You see all these, I call them fingers, that are built going in there. You can even tell this one, they're on swing joints. This one here in the middle, I can't get the thing to stay up. I don't know if the joint's loose or the pieces are loose. I try to rest it against that front nose piece to get it to stay, to give the aesthetic, but these weren't that bad to assemble. I mean, a little bit repetitive build's not that bad, but the side panels here, these things here, this one, and this one, how this goes together, it's almost like a big hinge. You can almost take it loose and swing it up, but these all clip together and clip back on some studs back in here. These were frustrating to get on. When you get these panels built, you got one here, one here, and one here. You have very limited room to get inside of where these actually attach, to try to put pressure on it to get them to attach to the studs. What I ended up happening, where I was trying to get my hands on pieces down here in the bottom of the boat, I was breaking pieces loose. They were falling off. I had to go back and continuously put things on. As you can tell, I did get it assembled on both sides. I mean, it got on there. But as far as anything that I would say was frustrating, that was the most frustrating part of this build for me, was trying to get these side panels on there. And if you get this set, you decide to get it and you put it together, you know, you'll probably see that as well. And you can let me know on future comments this video or whatever if I was just whiny and couldn't figure it out or what. But as far as that goes, quite honestly, that was the only thing that really kind of got on my nerves putting this together. The rest of it was pretty straightforward. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of gears and stuff on it there. You can see on the back. Those all went together and snapped into place very easily. It was very well designed from that aspect of it. You know, you do have a knob here on the side that you can turn, and you can see it moves the fins there on the top and spins the little turbines. And even on the front, it's all linked together where it will move the red turbines there on the front. So got a little playability and some features there, and you can see the gears turn on the side. You know, that's pretty cool when you move that. And then over here again on this side, you can see it going there. So a little bit of playability and some features to move. Now I gotta say, those gear mechanisms are a little bit stiff. You got to be careful. You got to kind of turn them slow. I'm kind of sitting at an angle. You probably noticed it stalled out a little bit on me. You got to try to keep your hands straight. If you pull back on that pin a little bit, it will give you resistance. I'm afraid it might mess something up on that. But again, it was easy to put together. Get all the gears to go together and all that was pretty cool. As far as my favorite part of this, I mean, I got to say, I don't have one part of this that's honestly my favorite. I like it all. The thing that was the most fun for me to build personally was the lower half of the airship here. Again, I like the detailing and stuff on it. You can see, I mean, this is all for one printed pieces. I don't think there was very few stickers that went on this thing, if any at all. I'm trying to think if any of this was sticker pieces. Let me spin it around. All this, I'm about 100% sure, was all printed pieces with no stickers. So I like that. You know, you get these big sets from other companies. They're laden with stickers. I don't care much for that, especially on a higher piece count or more of a display piece, not a playability set or something like that. I like how they have the ropes here and the way they attach and come down. I think that's a good aesthetic, having that. The ladders, when you're putting this together, it doesn't feel wobbly or anything, but when you attach these ladders to the top part of this down to the ship, it really locks this top part of the airship in place. So I thought that was a good thing for stability if you put this thing on a shelf. I mean, it's stable. I mean, you can see I'm shaking it here on the thing. It's not, it wiggles. Of course, it's got some loose pieces on it there with the chains and stuff like that. But as far as pieces falling off of this, I have not had that problem. The only problem, back again, that I've had since getting it assembled, I've knocked this off a couple of times, a little smoke thing up there. That's just because I'm not paying attention. This piece right here in the middle dropping down, that's the only issue I've had. And that could have been something I'd done wrong during assembly. Who knows? I might have bent one of the little pincher things or something on there. But again, it looks awesome. Let's zoom in here a couple different spots and have a look. You have to bear with me. I have to adjust my camera a little bit as we come in here. But it gives you a better look at the interior. Now, you got your captain's thing here. This does spin, and I don't have any of the minifigures on this thing yet. I want to be able to show you the actual thing here without having the figures blocking anything, and I got a little dust on that. I apologize. But again, that doesn't do anything. It just spins, but I do like it does turn. It's not just a fixed piece on there. The chains, I think, are a good look on this as far as an aesthetic and all that. And then you get a better look here at the printed pieces on this brown here. I think that looks great. You got the dark brown, you got the contrast against the print stuff on there. I love the use of colors. It makes the different pieces of this, in my opinion, for a set that didn't use a lot of different colors, they used a good enough mixture, in my opinion, to make things stick out. Even on these turbines, you got the green and the gold there, the black gear, the red turbine, the red propellers, the silver stuff on the back. That's a lot of good contrast on those, to me, that makes those pieces kind of pop out. As far as features on the inside, I mean, you got kind of the both things on both sides of it there, kind of repetitive on that. But again, it's an airship. I mean, it's kind of hard to get a lot of variation on something this size. Another thing that I like, that I give Pantasy credit for, you can see this big hubcap here, the back rotor, it takes up a good amount and blocks this off, but you can still see in behind that. I mean, you have design back in there. You have those little gold little window shutter pieces like we see on Lego pirate ships and stuff back in there. I like they did that. They just didn't leave that a plain flat piece. They did put some detail in that, even though that's a piece that's kind of blocked off from view. So I got to give credit for that. Like I said, all the sets I have seen from them so far, they put a lot of detail work in this for the price that you pay for it. And then again, there you can see some more of the interior of what's on the actual physical deck, I guess you can say, of the airship. And don't mean to get quiet, but just let you have a look at this stuff as we spin this around. The base, we'll scroll down a little bit more here. You can see the base. The base is very sturdy. I like the base. I mean, it's just a plain gray base, but the way you put this together with Technic pins and then some brick built elements on it to kind of dress it up a little bit, I mean, I like it. It's sturdy. It serves its purpose, but again, I feel like you put this on a shelf, it's not going to be wobbling around. If you bump your shelf, you don't have to worry about this. It's falling off the base. The way that everything locks together on this, very nice. Very, very nice. And I got to say, one of my favorite design features on these, anything kind of pirate ship made, I love these. I love these style grates, whatever you call them. And that's what you got back in here behind that turbine as well, as you can see there. back behind that. I just think that's a great aesthetic. I'm sorry. Even the use, look at that. You got a handcuff there. And look at that. That looks cool hanging up back there. A cool little display piece. But again, nice little set here. But let's scroll up and take a look at the actual, I guess, Zeppelin part of it, if you want to say. Let me zoom out a little bit. We'll leave it zoomed in. That way you can see some of the detailing. I do like the gold little fins here. I think that adds a good look to it. These flaps on the back, they're not paper or anything on there. It is like a very rigid plastic. So you can probably hear, or kind of a plasticky cardstock. I don't know how really to describe that, but it's not cheap paper, so it's not fragile. To me, you're not going to have to worry about if you take it out of the box or something. It's not going to be, it shouldn't be ripped or bent or anything like that. It's pretty sturdy stuff there that they make that out of. But there you can see a closer look of the gears and the mechanisms and all the little detailing. And there on the top of the ship, the printed pieces on the top and bottom of these flaps here. I think that looks great. I love the little porthole assemblies on there with the smoked little covers there and all that stuff. I think that's a cool aesthetic, especially with the little, like, looks like rivet holes in the front of the portholes there, like it's actually attached to the ship. So that is pretty sweet, guys. Even like little exhaust ports. I mean, that looks great on there, I think. Up on the top, you got the motor where the stack goes. Let's see if I can tilt this forward for you a little bit without destroying the thing and show you what that looks like. But there you go from that side of it. You can see it's got a basic little block design. I like the hose, the flex hose that goes around there, and that is a flexible thing that clicks onto the smokestack and then comes around there to the side. And if we spin this around to the other side, you can see there from this angle the backside aesthetic of the engine on top. If I can get it back centered in the camera, might be better mounted. There we go. And then on the other side there, you got your wheel mounted up there. Now that is fixed. That doesn't turn or do anything. It's just there for aesthetic. And then we'll tilt it down a little bit so you can see some more detailing on that. Not going to tilt it too far because I don't want to risk knocking the thing off here and me dropping it. Not saying it's sturdy, it's just me knocking the thing off there in accident. You can see there in your smokestack, I like how they alternate the blue and the gold. Again, that's just some contrast. And then you got your smoke coming out up here. Your white smoke, black mixed with the gray, that little brick built piece there. Again, I knock this off constantly, but that's not anything to do with the build quality. That's just got to do with me being clumsy and needing to pay more attention when I'm moving around it. But I don't really know what else to say, everybody. Pantasy, I think, as far as some of the other brick built companies that I have seen and I have built stuff from, I think they do a good job, and I can't figure to zoom out on this camera. There we go, I got it. Like I said, they do a great job. Their sets are quality. The price point, I think, is where it needs to be. If you enjoy brick built sets, I think you would enjoy the stuff from them. I wish they had some more licenses for some actual, like, you know, Marvel comics or, you know, things like that. Some more, I guess, things from pop culture. But I understand that costs money. They're a new company. They're trying to get their footing going and all that stuff. But awesome looking set. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Let me know if you built any Pantasy sets before and what you think about them. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing to The Man Collects. Turn on your bell for notifications. If you go to the description of this video, you will see a link to my Instagram account. Go there, give me a follow, send me a message should you choose to. And until the next time the man puts together a brick-built set, I am signing out, and I'll see you next time.